Son of a gun, Jordan Burroughs is the wrestler of 2021. Jordan Burroughs is the man of the year for 2021. He suffered the most devastating defeat of his illustrious career. Now, all that defeat is he lost to Kyle Dake in the final wrestle-off and did not get to make the Olympic team. But when you are as cloaked in success as Jordan Burroughs, and let me personalize this real fast, just from a personal perspective, but I was an Olympic alternate. I am so proud of that. I was excited that day, and so was my family. I brag about it to this day. If I'm ever doing a resume, people are, hey, what'd you do, and things like this. I always say Olympic alternate. It was an honor. There's a pride that comes with it. I have no trophies anywhere. I know where that one is. They give you a little award. You make the U.S. national team. I know where that one is. It meant so much to me. Jordan Burroughs, disgusted. That's how successful this guy is, all right? My crowning moment as an athlete who took it very seriously, worked very hard, and in all fairness, did very well. My crowning moment is his worst. That's how good this guy is. It's unbelievable. But what Jordan looked at as a loss, okay, not making that Olympic team, I believe that Jordan is the only one that would see it that way. Just by example, Jordan was in Tokyo. Jordan was with the team. But the team was NBC and the broadcasting team, and he was in the booth. There was no wrestler from any country anywhere on earth who got more time at the Olympics than Jordan Burroughs. So you start to see where this is a little bit of a win, right? And you start to know that pit that he had. He was embarrassed. He didn't want to be around the guys when he's not on the team. He dealt with it anyway. It wasn't a physical exercise. It was a mental exercise. Jordan passed the test and started to grow that fire inside of him. And there was many people going into this year that would have guessed, predicted, or even said it on the record that this will be Jordan's last. I don't know if that plan changed. I don't know that it was ever going to be his last. All I can tell you is it's not now. So Jordan Burroughs, who's a 74-kilo guy, comes out, says he's going to try out for the world team at 79 kilograms. Now, that's admirable. And if he goes through the training and the process, we're all going to look at him the way we currently already do, which is a man amongst boys, in all fairness. But he's not going to make the team. He's 74 kilos. He's got to go up 11 pounds. That just isn't going to work. He's not big enough. Not to mention, Derringer's sitting there waiting for him. Valencia might be there waiting for him. Bo Nickel might be there waiting for him. Mark Hall's going to be there waiting for him. It's just not going to work out. It's not his weight class. But it's cool that he's going to go. Well, not so fast. Not only does he beat everybody he runs into, nobody scores on him offensively. Are you guys aware of that if you watch the trials? Jordan Burroughs was not turned or taken down. And his offense wasn't the same as we've seen. He wasn't putting as many points on the board. The Nolf match comes to mind instantly. And you start to think, okay, Jordan's going to have a hard time scoring. He is having a size issue. Some of that explosiveness when you're dealing with 11 more pounds, particularly the way wrestlers come in, right? It's going to take some time. But then you look a little bit closer and you go, well, but wait a minute. Even if his offense is down, his defense is up. Nobody's scoring on him. Whatever the gap is, it's still to 1. However many Jordan has, it's still to 0. So now you start to say, oh, wait a minute, he's playing a different game. Jordan has changed up his style. He's playing a different game. He makes it to the World Championships. He wins them, guys. But not only does he win them, guess what the score in the final was? 7-2. Want anybody guess? 0. In the world final. And Jordan had the tough side of the bracket. He came through the Russian. He meets up with the Iranian in the finals. The U.S., Russia, and Iran are still battling it out to see who's going to win the team championship. The 3 best teams, Jordan goes through the other 2. And they can't score on him. It is absolutely unbelievable. And the conversation for who is the greatest of all time, the greatest wrestler of all time, American, of course, is a conversation, but it is down to 3. Right? It's one of those debates. It's like talking about Batman versus Superman, but you don't talk about Batman versus Iron Man versus Superman versus Spider-Man. We've got it down to Batman and Superman, right? Can we agree on this? It's the same thing with who is the greatest of all time. It is down to, and has been down to, John Smith, Chael Sonnen, and Jordan Burroughs. That is the argument. If you're sitting with any level of aficionado, with any level of credibility, talking American wrestling, you're going to argue amongst those three. Chael Sonnen is hard to deny because he never lost in the NCAA and got put on the cover of the Wheatie Bach for it. Oh, and by the way, on his way out the door, grabbed the Olympic championship. Little shorter career. John Smith, 6 titles in a row. Very relevant. The people who argue that Smith is the best ever argue the 6 in a row. I'm one of those people. But now Jordan Burroughs has 6, not in a row. A couple of bronzes slipped in with there. He's got 8 medals overall, 6 of them gold, one of those being an Olympic. But now he's done it at 2 different weight classes. That is something that nobody has ever done before, and that is something nobody has attempted to do before. And before you come in and say, Chael, Kyle Dake just did the same thing. I understand, but the argument is down to Chael, John, and Jordan. So I don't think I have to argue of how he beat Dake. Dake's just not in that debate yet. I would also like to submit for you that Jordan Burroughs did it basically in 2 different sports. If you want to go back and look at the rules of wrestling under those crooks known as FILA, if you go back and look at the rules of wrestling in 2011 when he won the Worlds and 2012 when he won the Olympics, it was a different sport. Some people didn't even call it a sport. They called it a game. And in many ways it was. You'd have the best of 3 rounds for 1 match. So if you win the first 2, you're all done. 4-minute match. If you go all 3, you could have less points than your opponent but still win. Or you could have more points than your opponent but still lose. It was goofy and it was weird. And many people did not come through it when they made the rules change to the correct way that UWW is doing it now. I love it. A lot of guys had to retire. It just didn't work and it didn't translate. Jordan didn't miss a beat. And it's extremely relevant. If you're going to start arguing, right, Smith's got the 6 in a row. Chael had the illustrious collegiate career. Jordan Burroughs did it in 2 different weight classes in 2 different styles. That's a very strong argument to be the GOAT. Very strong. As a matter of fact, if you think you can beat that, I would love to hear it, but for right now, 2021, and I don't have the authority to name Jordan the Wrestler of the Year. There's only 2 places that can do it. The mat, meaning USAW, or Flow. That's it. You have to have a meaty arm, or you have no credibility to give out an award. Now, I'm with ESPN, right? And humbly, I have a show called The Chael Sonnen Show. But I've got to get this done by Monday. I have to get this approved through the channels and recognize him by Monday, or I don't have the power. ESPN doesn't cover old news, right? If I don't get it done by the next cycle, I can't get it done. Somebody do the right thing. Recognize what happened here. Give Burroughs his due and crown him Man of the Year 2021.